Hello, hello. Hey, what's going on? My name is Ismail, founder of Fermento Solutions, which is a company that helps to grow medical spas by solving every single problem they face when it comes to growth. Now, today I'm going to make a video about one of the most important topics when it comes to growing and scaling your medical spa. Now, when it comes to growing and scaling your med spa, it's very important to understand that your business only grows to the level of the entrepreneur or the owner. So, for example, if you're here, your business is going to grow and grow and grow up until here, and then it's not going to grow anymore, right? So, why is that? Well, if you think about it, as the owner, you can only do so many things, right? You only have a certain amount of hours in the day. You only have a certain amount of skills that you can use, that you can leverage. There's only so many treatments that you can cover in a certain day, right? All of these things, right, limit the growth of your business to a certain extent. So what can you do? What can you do to get past this? You don't want to be here. You want to be here, right? You want your business to be here. What can you do? Well, I guess you could put in more hours, right? I'm sure that's what most of you guys want to do. You guys want to put in. You already did the double overtime this week. I'm sure you want to do the triple overtime, right? Anyway, jokes aside, right? The most important thing to do is build systems and processes and have a team in place to scale your business, right? And so today's topic is going to be about team building. So let's jump into it. Now, why would you want a team anyway, right? Well, you would want a team because at the end of the day, if you're running, your medical spa by yourself, or maybe it's you and a receptionist, the max that you could probably get to is 20K per month, right? $20,000 per month. And now, I won't say you won't get past 20K, but with one treatment administrator and maybe one receptionist, 20K is probably where you're going to reach. Obviously, you can have more revenue generating services, etc., etc. But how many appointments can you even take in a day? Maybe 6 or 7, right? You're working 5, 6 days a week. 20K is probably what you're going to be maxed out at. And for you to consistently get 20K per month, that means you're consistently getting leads. So maybe that's you doing ads. Maybe that's through referrals, right? Maybe that's through organic social media. That means the leads that you get, you're nurturing them consistently. That means either calling them or texting them and then getting them to book an appointment, right? And also you're retaining clients, right? So maybe you watched my last video. So you're implementing some of the retaining strategies, right? If you look at this, maybe you're working 8 hours a day, doing 6 or 7 or 8 appointments a day, 6 days a week. On top of that, you're doing all this other stuff, right? So you're not really doing, 8 hours a day. You're doing a full-time job plus overtime, doing all these other things to make sure you're consistently getting 20K a month, right? So you're taking on all the stress, all the overtime, all the risk to get 20K a month. And 20K, that's a lot. That's really good, right? That's $240,000 a year. And that's really cool until you look at what the average profit margin for a single location medical spa and you realize it's 30%. It's 30%. So out of the $240,000, you're actually walking away with $72,000. That's pain. That's pain. You did all this overtime, all this extra, all this sleepless nights, all this stressing, all the sacrifices, right? Because you can't do all of this without making sacrifice to get $72,000. Now, this is a bitter pill to swallow. So let's just say, that you have a more profitable service. Maybe you're a bit more smart with your business model, and you're able to get to like 60% margins. Okay, so let's say you walk away with $144,000 after 60% margins, right? After this, you still have to pay tax. So I'm not sure what state you're in or what country you're in, but let's just say for $144,000, you get taxed 30%, which you're probably going to get taxed more, but let's say it's 30%. You're walking away with 100K, okay, which is not really 100K because we already know that the average location medical single location med spas making 30% margins. Okay, so you're doing all of this overtime, all this extra stuff, and you're walking away with this. Is it worth it? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. Did you start a business to walk away with this type of money? To make all these sacrifices? I hope not. I hope that when you started your med spa, you had a plan, and that running it by yourself and taking on all the extra unneeded stress to get these numbers wasn't the plan. And if you don't have a plan, well, this is why I'm creating these videos. Okay, so you can start to make adjustments to your business model and your perspective on how to run your medical spa. Okay, so the point I'm trying to make is team the solution? Is building your team the solution? I hope you think it is, because imagine now you have someone that's doing this part of your business for you and doing this part of your business for you, and implementing these strategies for you, and someone else that's handling a couple of treatments for you as well, right? And they're doing such a great job. Now what happens is, usually you probably have tried finding a team, right? Putting together, hiring employees, things of the sort. And usually you've probably fallen into one of the two boats. Is that one, you couldn't find any people, or if you did, they just weren't that good. They weren't as good as you, right? And your business was really good when you were running it yourself because you were doing things in a very personalized way. You were very educated. Your service delivery was on point. And so as you hired more people, your business began to lose that personal touch. And as a result, you lost clients. People started going elsewhere because your business wasn't the same. And so your business, the money you started making, actually decreased after hiring people, right? Or two, you found a superstar. You found someone that was really good at what they do. And they actually, were putting in a lot of work. They started getting a lot of clients. A lot of business started flowing through. But then they left. Either they started their own thing or they went to a better job opportunity. And so your business got hurt, right? You had to start picking up the pace again, right? You had to go and start working in your business rather than working on your business, right? Now it's much more likely that you fall into the first boat rather than the second boat, okay? Where you just can't find people, right? And they're just not very talented. So the first thing I'm going to cover is finding and vetting talent. Okay? Now the first thing I'm going to cover is finding and vetting talent. There's a lot of noise going around where I keep hearing there's a shortage of talent, right? And people just don't want to work anymore. And if you think about it, that's just not true. There's actually an overflux of talent. So many of these colleges or aesthetics courses and classes are like filled with students. There's like a waiting list for these classes, right? So there's actually not a shortage of talent. Every year there's more and more and more talent that's available for the market, right? These nursing programs, they're super in demand, right? Matter of fact, there's less jobs than there are people in today's day and age. And the fact that people are saying people just don't want to work anymore, that's not true. Okay, I'm sure that the jobless people without any jobs are dying to work, right? It's becoming very difficult. The marketplace, the job marketplace is in a very tough situation right now. And so if you're a business owner, you actually get a lot more, a lot more. There's a lot more fish in the sea for you, okay, if you're a business owner. So let's get into it. So just the mindset of there's a shortage of talent or there's people just don't want to work anymore. You really need to start changing your perspective. There's a lot of people that want to work and they should be excited and happy to have the opportunity to work for your business. Okay. So where can you even find these people? So you can find them on Indeed and LinkedIn. That's a great place. You can reach out to programs. So some of these aesthetic courses or nursing programs, you can actually reach out to them and be like, hey, I have a job opportunity. Maybe you can push some of your talent into here, right? You can reach out to them, or you can, get a class list and email everyone in that class list, something like that, right? You might have to be creative on how you can go about this, but this is a strategy you can do is by reaching out to the programs themselves. Okay, now the easiest way is to do Facebook ads, right? Just do some advertising, Instagram, Facebook. Be like, hey, are you a nurse looking for an opportunity for growth, etc., etc. You can be very creative with your advertisements to get a lot of traction. The goal is to get a pool of people you can talk to. Okay, the problem is you probably done an interview with like 1, 2, 3 people, right? And let's say all prospects actually were not very good. But because you've only done 3 interviews, or you've only spoken with 3 people, let's say number 2, stands out from 1 and 3. On a scale of 10, let's say, in terms of how good of a fit they are for your, in terms of how good they are for, how good of a fit they are for your business. Let's say this person was like a 6, right? And this person was like a 2, and this person was a 3. Automatically, number 2 is going to look like a superstar. Number 2 is going to look like a superstar, but in reality, they're just average, or they're okay, right? But if you're able to have a pool of 10 people that you speak to, right, it's very likely that now you'll be able to see the candidates for what they are, rather than trying to, this is like, for lack of a better analogy, if you're only talking to one person, if you're only dating one person, that person you might think is a superstar. But in reality, if you date 10 people, that one person that you thought was a superstar is really just, below average even sometimes, So this is why it's important to date multiple people. This is why it's important to keep your options open when it comes to interviewing, right? You want to have a large pool of people that you're interviewing essentially for your business. I think it's for every 10 people that you hire, you'll probably get like 1 or 2 superstars, right? So imagine how many people you have to interview. Now, once you get that large pool of people, you want to filter out for specific qualities. Now, the most important thing to understand is that you're a service-based business, right? Person-to-person interaction is the most important part of your business. So you want to hire based on personality. People that are more outgoing, better communicators, good energy. This is the type of person you want in your business. Obviously, skills and competency, those are like prerequisite skills that they would need to even get their interview. But I want you to understand is that you can train all these people, even if they lack some skills or they don't know how to do certain procedures or treatments, they can be trained on that, right? And you can come up with very vigorous training regimens to make sure that your workers or your employees become very competent in specific treatments and skills, right? So you want to more hire based on personality. Obviously, you want them to have knowledge and some technical skill or technical knowledge on, medical spa treatments and things like that. But the most important thing is the personality, the energy, how well they mesh with your business. Because what you're looking to do here is not just hire people to do specific jobs, but you want to build a company culture, a team, a very good environment where people want to join in and don't want to leave. And what you'll find is when you build a culture and a company like this, one, people will want to not leave, right? Not just your employees, but customers, right? Because you've created this energy, this environment to when a customer comes in, they feel a part of that. So one, it's going to help with getting customers and retaining them, but also attracting talent and retaining that talent. If you put two and two together, this is going to make your business more profitable. Okay, because now you're building something unique. Now, once you found someone that has good personality, that has good energy, that can mesh with your company's culture, and they're competent, and you see the potential in them, the potential of their growth, you want to sell them the dream. Okay? You don't want someone coming into your business or hiring someone that's going to stay for a couple months and then leave, or get tired and quit, or get poached and go to the next opportunity. You want someone that's going to be with you and your company for as long as they can, pretty much. And the way you do this is by setting expectations on the first day. You essentially want to sell them the dream, right? You say, hey, we're not looking to do any quick hires or anything like that. We're actually looking to build something very special here. And we want the people that we hire, we want them to be a part of this journey and, grow with us. And so right from the first day, you're kind of selling them the dream that, it's not just going to be, another job for you. It's going to be something that you can be a part of. And if you think about it, everyone wants to be a part of something, right? It becomes much bigger than a job for when you're hiring an employee. It becomes more like a career. It becomes more like, they're working towards something. And so you're tapping into that part of them. Now, the most important thing is the compensation structure. What you don't want to do is just do an hourly rate, a per hour rate. Think about it. If you want someone to put their best foot forward, but they're getting paid hourly or on a salary, why would they go above and beyond for your business, for your company? They're going to clock in and clock out, right? That's what you would do. That's what I would do, right? They would just do the bare minimum or do a good enough job where they don't get fired and then go home and forget about it until the next day, right? So the way you combat that is by giving, maybe it's a base hourly rate, maybe it's a base salary, but it's very important to have bonuses, right? And performance incentives. What does a bonus look like? A bonus can be a retention bonus. So, hey, if you stay for us for a year, we give you a bonus. And if you stay for a second year, we give you a bigger bonus. And for every year that you stay with us, the bonus gets bigger and bigger. Now, imagine you find a superstar talent. Why would they want to leave if they're going to continuously get rewarded for staying with you? On top of that, if you're giving performance incentives, now they have an incentive to work harder, to put their best foot forward, right? If they administer a certain number of treatments, or if they retain a certain number of clients, or if they do X, Y, and Z, they should be rewarded for it, right? And these bonuses should be very clear, right? If you hit this target, this will be your bonus. If you hit this target, this is your bonus, right? This incentivizes someone. It gives them, it gives them the want, the energy to go and put their best foot forward. Okay? All right. So this is how you find and vet talent, right? And now you've hired them. Now it comes down to retaining this talent. So how do you retain this talent? Obviously, the first part was selling them the dream, okay? Now, you don't just want to sell someone the dream and, they're left dreaming. After some time, they're going to be like, yo, this is a lie. Now I'm leaving. I'm out of here. What you want to do is actually live up to the dream that you've sold them. So how do you do this? Well, you mentioned to them that you want to help them grow and develop, right? You mentioned that, you're looking to build something special and you want them to be a part of it. So truly, truly do that, right? This means continuous training, right? You train them on different treatments. Maybe first they started with basic treatments, and then as they continued to work with you, they started getting trained on injectables, or maybe it was, microneedling, or maybe it was body contouring or laser treatments. And then you hold them accountable, right? To make sure that they're progressing. Have a check-in with them every couple weeks, every couple months. Hey, is everything good with you? How are you finding, the trainings? How are you finding your progression, right? You want to make sure that they're happy, essentially. You want to be a good boss. You want to make sure that your employees have room to grow. The worst feeling of working a job is that you feel like, if I work somewhere for 3 years, that you're in the same position as you were last year and the year before that. That is a terrible feeling, right? So the employee needs to feel like there's room to grow. So those bonuses are something that's great, retention bonuses, but also moving up, right? Maybe as you continue to grow and you get bigger, you can add a revenue share, right? Depending on how much revenue you're making, you can give your employees a percentage of that, right? If you expand, maybe your employee has the chance to become a manager or own one of the locations, right? This is going to attract one, superstar talent, and two, it's going to keep that talent, right? And this is how you build an insane company that's very profitable and makes a lot of money. If you're not willing to give up anything, then you're going to get those employees that work hourly and get paid hourly and then leave you for someone else. So you have to be willing to give up some pieces of the pie. And this is how you make a bigger overall pie. You're giving up pieces, but your overall pie is getting bigger. Okay? Now I mentioned the performance bonuses and retention bonuses already. This is very important. And the most important thing is having an amazing company culture. You want to create it so that people feel like they're working with their best friends and their family, right? That means every couple of weeks, maybe you guys are doing a bowling night, or maybe you guys have a dinner together, or maybe you guys have a game night, right? Or maybe you guys, essentially you're trying to build an actual relationship with these people. They should become your friends, your very close friends and family. No one wants to leave a company where everyone of their coworkers feels like their best friend. That'd be very difficult, right? If someone offered me a little bit more money to go and work for them, but I have to leave my best friends, and while I'm working with my best friends, I even have more opportunity, and I have the performance incentives, and I have the retention bonuses, would I really want to leave this for just a little bit more money? For a little bit better of an opportunity? Probably not. Okay? And if I'm working with my best friends and we all have this goal in mind that we're all trying to grow and we're all trying to put together this business and company that's going to be something special, am I going to put my best foot forward? Of course I will. So company culture is very important, right? And this is why hiring based on personality becomes very important, right? Hiring based on personality becomes very important. So now I hope that I've explained why building a team is very important, how to go about building this team is very important, and for you to understand that the team is the solution, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be working in your business, you want to be working on your business, right? So you're not making $72,000 a year whilst working crazy hours and making sacrifices and having all these sleepless nights. Okay? One last thing I want to mention is that if you're watching videos like this, kudos to you. Kudos to you. Because you're taking some action to actually improve your business. So good job and keep showing up.